electric. Very nice. Guys, welcome back. We are on peak week. This has been recorded on a Tuesday. The show is on Saturday, so 5 days to go. I'm going to run through some questions that I received on Instagram, and I also want to pick up where I left off in the previous video. The last video, if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. At the start, I was freaking out a little bit just with regards to my condition. Am I going to be ready for the show? I had injuries that I didn't actually forecast, so I did feel that I was behind, and I just wanted my coach to drop the hammer, and as I quoted, I want to go to hell. From the last video to now, that has happened. I mean, not to the point where I'm like, I can't do this, but I've done everything that I've needed to do right up until now, and I'm actually content with the position that I'm in. The work still isn't done because of 5 days left. 5 days might seem like it's nothing, but when you're on peak week, 5 days feels like 5 months, and I mean that when I say it, because number one, I'm water loading, so I'm having sleepless nights. Last night I went to bed at 2. I was up at 4:30 to 7, and I went back to bed from 7 to 8, so I only got 3.5 hours. And that's the thing with peak week, like I'm starving, I'm going to the toilet a lot. Overall, much happier with the position that I'm in. I'm going to give you a physique update at the end, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Question number one that people are wanting to know is, am I struggling? I seem fine now, I have food in me, I'm fine. But what you need to understand with prep, guys, is that it's all about energy preservation. So what I deem as struggling and someone else may be different. I'm definitely noticing it energy wise, as in I feel like I'm sort of dragging my knuckles around when I'm walking, just because I feel so deflated. That's outside of training. Around my training window, I get a decent amount of calories, so I'm not too bad there. But overall, I mean, no, it's not easy. Yes, I would say I am struggling, but I sort of feel like it's a weakness saying that. It's part of the process. You have to struggle. I'm just a little bit lower on energy, and I just have to be selective with where I put my energy. That's one thing I have noticed as well, guys. Like throughout this process, because you have to preserve so much energy, I'm being a little bit more blunt with people because, well, I just don't have a lot of energy to explain things. So if you have noticed that, I'm not even going to apologise. I'm actually going to adopt that new approach going forward. Being blunt is brilliant. So does it affect your mood? Same thing as before. It does, in a sense that you're not as outgoing, you're not as energetic. People do notice it whenever they're speaking to me. Someone said to me the other day, am I annoying you? Or what was it? Am I annoying you? Are you listening to me? Because to be honest, I'm just thinking about something different. I'm thinking about my next meal. I'm thinking about when can I actually get to sleep, and yeah, just thinking about everything but being present in the moment. So yeah, it does affect your mood, it does affect your energy. It's supposed to. It's part of the process. The easiest and hardest part of peak week. See, to be honest, this week, I mean, it still isn't over. I'm going to tell you what the hardest part's going to be. The hardest part is going to be tomorrow. I'm going to check in, and then I don't know what's going to happen. So traveling to the airport, I don't know what I'm doing with food, so that's going to be hard. Just, it sounds so silly, but I'm going to be going longer durations without food, and I am going to be traveling. Yes, okay, it is just to London, but I have to go to London, I have to get a train to the Airbnb, and then from there it's going to be chaos because I have to get a tan early in the morning on Friday, something like 7 a.m. And then I don't know, I don't actually know what I'm doing the whole day. I can only presume that food is going to be low until that night. And then on Saturday morning I'll be up at like 6 a.m. have to register at 7 a.m. for the show. I'm on stage at 9 a.m. so I'm just thinking I can't really sleep at the minute. I'm going to be absolutely exhausted. So I do think that the best or worst is yet to come. Best part of peak week, to be honest, just the changes in your body. Like for me, seeing more veins running through the abs, that's the sort of shit that gets me going. It does, whenever you see stuff like that, it does make it all worthwhile. But apart from that, peak week isn't very pleasant. You know, down to 1 grams of salt, 1.5 grams per meal, and yeah, it's just about intricate details. And I don't want to say my food's bland, but it's literally eggs, chicken and rice, chicken, eggs, and 30 grams of macadamia nuts at night, and that's literally it. And when I say eggs, I mean egg whites. So it's very minimal fat. But overall, yeah, it's easy. It's not easy. Sorry, it is hard, but it's going to be rewarding. So it's not too bad. So someone actually asked me in the questions, "Am I excited? How do I feel?" And the third one was, "Have you looked at the competition?" And I don't know if this is ignorant of me, but I haven't looked at the boys I'm competing against directly. I know what standard I'm playing at. I had a look at the boy who won the previous show, who won overall bodybuilding, and he actually looked really well. So I know what standard I'm working towards, but I haven't been stalking the guys that I'm going to be standing on stage with, because number one, I just don't have time to do it. I don't really care. And number three, it's not going to change my work ethic, and that's just my attitude. Some people will be like, "That's stupid, you should look who you're actually competing against," but I don't know where to start, to be honest. So I'm aiming towards a standard as opposed to getting too distracted by one person. In terms of the show itself, the category, my weight cap is 102 kilo, so I think it's from 92 to 102, so there's going to be boys obviously 10 kilo heavier, 10 kilo lighter. I woke up this morning at 101.6, so I am going to be on the heavier end. The thing about this competition, guys, is that my goal is to get my pro card. So what I have to do to get my pro card, and I didn't know this until recently, it's not enough for me just to win my category. So if I'm in the heavyweight class, for me to take a pro card home, I have to win my class, and then I have to go up against the super heavyweights, which is boys that are going to have a lot more mass, a lot more size. It's a different kettle of fish. It's not unrealistic and it's not impossible, but it obviously makes things more difficult. You basically have to win the entire show because the bodybuilding classes are the bigger boys, and I'm the second category down from top. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see what the super heavies are looking like. But it's just the nature of the game. That's what you have to do to win your pro card. You have to basically steal the show. Today we're going to be doing back and biceps. This week's training, a little bit weird. I'm programmed not to go to failure. 2 working sets, which is what I always do, and just pretty much take it easy and get a pump. I feel okay now energy wise, but I have been dying out a little bit quicker than usual in my sessions. But the work is done, guys. Like, this is what people don't understand. You know, I've done everything I needed to do right up until now. There's no point in me pushing anymore, because number one, I don't want to risk an injury, and number two, my body's already under a lot of stress from not sleeping. The last thing I need is to pound it with weights. So I'm literally just training to get a pump, taking photos, putting them up in the gram, getting a few likes, rinse and repeat until the day. One thing about this prep is that some people have said it doesn't look like you're struggling. To me, and say, to be honest, do you know why? And I thought about this. It's because I've basically been going pro for like coming up to a year, and because I've like been working towards this that long, it's not like I was in a bulking position and just started a cut. I think that's what's different. So whenever people are asking, are you struggling? To be honest, the past year, it's just been spread out as opposed to being condensed into like the last 10 weeks. I think that's why.
To the nose, I just want the real stuff. Everybody listen up. Rises like the sun, yeah. Fade like the give up, never slow till I find the proof. Never listen to these feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do this what I do, and I hope you let me in, let me in. That's so lonely, but there's I'm going to wait, yeah.
Spit one on there. That was sweet. As I said, I can't go to failure. And the second set is going to be harder than that. But yeah, it's different training like that. It's not really hard to be honest, it's easy. The other day, we got to go ahead for a refeed. I had 30 pieces of sushi, which was amazing. Then I got to choose my own dessert. I went into the dessert shop. I walked straight out because it just didn't do it for me. Haven't had chocolate in 4 years. And went to Tesco, got Kinder Buenos and Kinder Cards and Ferrero Rocher. And it was insane. Honestly, like my first bite of a Kinder Bueno, it was like, what was I doing? Not eating this stuff for 4 years. What was I thinking? So I'm definitely going to incorporate chocolate again, because I've previously said I don't not eat it for my physique. I just didn't eat it because it was like, I was stubborn. But honestly, having that chocolate after 4 years, it was like, I was like a possessed demon. I done 4 Kinder Buenos, and I'm not joking when I say this, in under a minute, no bar. It was like, obviously you get like 4 Kinder Buenos and like a stick. I was opening it, having 2. By the time I was having 2, I was opening the other one. So it was literally like, just straight down. So I tell you that.
Keep on moving forward. Always getting closer. Marching till it's over. And just like a soldier. Oh. Keep on moving forward. Always getting closer. Marching till it's over. And honestly, I get it. Promise me you won't regret it. Wasted energy, forget it. Don't look back, we wanna get it. Bite the bullet just a bit. Let your tongue, you don't say shit. Make your actions hard to miss. Be a legend, not a. Always getting closer. I keep on moving forward. Always getting closer. I keep on moving forward. Always getting closer. I'm watching till it's over.
Everyone loves to ask me the same questions, and I would say the biggest question that everyone's been asking me recently is, what's your calories on? And see, to be honest, like, I only counted it last night because my coach just sends me my food plan through WhatsApp. It's literally just meal 1 right through to meal 6. I just do it. I log it on my fitness pal, but I just don't read into it. But at the minute, logged it last night. Protein sitting at 350 grams, carbs are 300, and fat is at 67 grams roughly. And it's funny because people say, that's a decent amount of calories. And I'm like, yeah it is, but when you're coming down from 6,000, no it's not. So I was looking back and I was doing 800 grams of carbs when I was bulking, down to 300. Like, come on, that's a big drop. So the next person says to me, that's a lot of calories. Don't say it, I'll just punch you. Lovely. Pang. That was the hardest set I've done this whole prep. Guys, I'm gonna stop there. Pretty much in this video, the videographer lost part of the actual footage itself. Just one of them freak errors, it happens guys. So we couldn't actually retrieve that. So the video was obviously on peak week. I'm now back home having already competed, and in the next video what I'm going to do is I'm going to run you through how the competition went, how I feel, everything like that, and the main thing is what are my plans moving forward. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.